My fiancée dumped me in the middle of a packed steakhouse, right after she slid my credit card to the waiter. Her exact words, "You're not going anywhere, Luke. I need a husband, not a charity case." Everyone laughed. I sat there, humiliated. 4 years later, I was on Forbes's 30 Under 30, and she came crawling back. I was 22, broke, and hopelessly in love with the worst person alive. Her name was Melinda, and she was a master manipulator with the face of a saint and the heart of a vulture. We met during my lowest point. After my dad's suicide, my mom's cancer diagnosis, and me losing my job all in the same cursed month. She swooped in like salvation. Melinda had connections, charm, a fancy family, and a $1,000 smile. I thought she was my miracle. She said I had potential, which was code for, "You're broke, but useful." I thought it was love. She thought I was a future investment. The first year together, I worked 3 jobs: dog walker, warehouse grunt, and freelance coding gigs at night. All my earnings went toward groceries, rent, and her stupid latte addiction. Melinda? She didn't work. Said she was building a brand. That brand was posting filtered selfies and passive-aggressively complaining I didn't buy her a Tesla yet. I should have seen the signs, like how she forgot my birthday, or the time she told her friends I was a starter boyfriend. But I was too in it, too desperate for stability, for a partner who didn't abandon me like everyone else had, until that night. We were celebrating her brand milestone, whatever that meant, at a high-end steakhouse in downtown Detroit. She ordered a $200 bottle of wine, 3 appetizers, and the most expensive steak on the menu. I stuck to water. When the bill came, she slid my own credit card to the server with a smirk and said loudly, "This is his last meal as my boyfriend." People turned, laughed. Even the waiter looked uncomfortable. Then she added, "He's sweet, but I need someone with a future." I don't remember leaving. I just remember walking through the freezing night without my coat, trying not to cry in public. My phone blew up with notifications. She'd blocked me on everything, deleted our photos, and updated her relationship status to single and thriving. I spent the next month couch hopping, crying, and drinking cheap beer. But something inside me snapped one night in a Greyhound bus station at 3 a.m. when a random stranger gave me their last granola bar. That simple act of kindness shattered me in the best way. I realized no one was coming to save me, so I started saving myself. I sold everything I didn't need, bought a busted-up laptop on Craigslist, signed up for free online business classes, and I learned. Obsessed. Taught myself coding, SEO, affiliate marketing, and built a website reviewing survival gear, because hell, I knew all about survival by then. The site flopped at first. I kept tweaking, changing, learning. Eventually, I found my rhythm. Then it exploded. Within 18 months, I was making more in a week than I used to make in a month. By year 3, I had my own LLC, a small team, and 3 profitable niche sites. By year 4, I bought my first house in Colorado Springs, paid in cash, and Forbes came knocking. "Young hustler turns trauma into triumph," the article read. My face was on their damn cover. Me, the charity case. Guess who messaged me the day it went live? Yup, Melinda. It started with a comment on one of my Instagram posts. Then a DM. "Hey, stranger. Proud of you." No apology, no mention of how she humiliated me in public, just proud. Like she'd had any part in it. I didn't answer. A week later, she sent a voice note. Her voice was trembling, fake, sweet. "Luke, I was young. I didn't know how to handle real love. I was scared. But seeing what you've become, it made me realize I lost something real." I still didn't respond. That night, she sent a picture of her, standing outside my office building, in heels, holding coffee. Like we were still together? Blocked her immediately. The next day, I got flowers, no card, then a letter, mailed to my home. It said, "We need to talk. I'm sorry. Let's have dinner." I didn't reply, but I did tell my assistant to increase security and log every visitor. Then I got the email that stopped my heart. Subject line, "Business proposal from Melinda Wexler." Inside was a pitch. She wanted me to invest in a wellness coaching startup she'd been building, promised huge ROI, called me a visionary investor, said she needed someone who believed in her. Then she had the gall to attach photos of us from years ago. She ended it with, "Let's build something amazing, together, like we always dreamed." I laughed so hard I almost cried. 2 weeks later, I agreed to meet her at the same steakhouse, same table. She looked older, still beautiful, still manipulative. "I've changed, Luke," she said, all teary-eyed. "I've matured. You were always the one." I let her talk. Then I pulled out a manila folder and slid it across the table. Inside, a signed rejection letter from my lawyer, declining her proposal, along with a cease and desist for harassment. She looked up at me, stunned. "You can't be serious." I stood up. "Check, please." And this time I left her with the bill. I thought that was the end of it. I told myself it was closure, a symbolic full circle. The bill was hers now, but Melinda, she wasn't done. The very next morning, my assistant, Val, a retired Army sergeant who doesn't blink at threats, called, me sounding rattled. "Boss," she said, "you've got a situation." "What kind of situation?" "A woman just showed up crying in the lobby, said she's your fiancé." "What?" "She's causing a scene. Security already called." "The cops!" I rushed down, heart pounding, not because I was worried for her. I was worried what she'd say. By the time I got there, Melinda was screaming at the receptionist, "You don't understand, he loves me. We've just been apart. Tell him I'm pregnant." Everyone froze. Pregnant? Hell no. Security had her outside before I could even process it. But that word echoed in my skull like a gunshot. Pregnant. Was it true? Was she bluffing? Was this another twisted power play? I didn't wait for an answer. I got my lawyer on the phone. Marcus, a bulldog in a blazer, was already drafting a restraining order before I finished explaining. "This reeks of desperation," he said. "Let's shut it down. Fast." He sent a formal cease and desist within the hour. We filed harassment charges the next day, but then it escalated. That week, I lost 2 sponsorship deals. A brand partnership vanished overnight. One client ghosted me completely. Then I found out why. Melinda had posted a TikTok. It had gone viral. Title: "The Billionaire Who Abandoned His Pregnant Ex." She cried on camera, claimed I emotionally abused her, claimed I stole her ideas, said I used her as a launch pad for my business. Over 300,000 likes, thousands of angry comments. Cancel Luke started trending. What the actual hell? I sat in my office with the lights off, shaking with rage. My blood was boiling, my head throbbed. She was lying, and the world was buying it. The worst part? She had footage. Old clips of us, laughing, walking hand in hand, edited to make me look like the perfect boyfriend who turned cold and heartless once he made it. I should have deleted those damn videos years ago. My inbox exploded. Threats, insults, journalists wanting comments, Reddit threads dissecting my life, people calling me a fraud, a sociopath, a user. It was a full-blown digital witch hunt. And I was burning at the stake. Marcus went into beast mode. "We're suing," he growled. "Libel, defamation, false light, the whole damn menu. But lawsuits take time. And the internet? It moves fast. My team begged me to post a rebuttal video. Speak your truth, Luke. The silence makes it worse. But I didn't want to give her more attention until she went one step too far. She showed up at my mom's chemo clinic, told the front desk she was Luke's wife. Tried to visit my dying mother. I found out when the nurse called me in a panic. She said she was family. She brought flowers. But your mom got upset, had a panic attack. That was it. That was war. I drove straight to Melinda's apartment. Yeah, I had her address, don't ask how. Rage doesn't need logic. She opened the door in a silk robe, smirking. "You came? Stay the hell away from my family." She tilted her head like she was confused. "Luke, don't be dramatic. Your mom and I were close." I stepped forward, teeth clenched. "You're a parasite, Melinda. You can't stand that I made it without you. So you're trying to leech off me like always." Her smile cracked. "You think you're untouchable now? You think money makes you safe? I made you, Luke." She slammed the door in my face. I stood there, fists clenched, breathing like a bull about to charge. I called Marcus. Burn her down. Within 48 hours, we had a full legal team on it. Digital forensics proved she'd faked timestamps on several videos. One was from a trip I never even went on. She'd edited me and using stock footage. We subpoenaed the pregnancy claim. No medical records. No OB visits. No proof. It was a lie. All of it. And then the pendulum swung back. Commenters dug deeper. Reddit turned on her. Someone leaked screenshots of her private texts, laughing about tricking Luke, calling her followers gullible. Sheep. People were furious. One by one, the brands that dropped me came back with apologies. My numbers rebounded, sponsors returned, and Melinda, she vanished, deactivated everything. But I knew it wasn't over, not yet, because a week later I got a voicemail from her mother. The voicemail was 47 seconds of pure chaos. "Hi, Luke. This is Melinda's mom. I'm not calling to argue, just, please. She's not well. She hasn't eaten in days. Keeps muttering your name. I don't know what happened between you two, but she's unstable. I'm worried she's going to do something." My stomach dropped. I hated Melinda, but I didn't want her dead. Still, I couldn't trust a single word out of that woman's mouth, or her mom's. I forwarded the message to Marcus. He listened in silence, then said, "Do nothing. It's bait. You're not a therapist. If she's really spiraling, let her family handle it. Legally, emotionally, stay away." I tried. I really tried. But then I got the envelope. It came in. The mail, hand-delivered. No return address. My name scribbled in red pen. Inside was a single photo. Me, asleep in my bedroom. What the hell? I bolted upright. Checked every lock, every window, every camera. Nothing looked tampered with. But the timestamp on the back? It was last night. I called the building manager, demanded security footage. He looked shaken. "Nothing on the cameras," he said. "No one unauthorized entered." I was being watched, not online, physically. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat on my couch with a baseball bat and a bottle of bourbon, heart pounding like a war drum. Who does this? How did she even get in? The next day, I filed a police report, hired a private security firm, installed internal motion detectors, and then, just when I thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Melinda accidentally overdosed. She survived, but barely. The hospital contacted me because I was still listed as her emergency contact. "Are you kidding me?" Marcus advised. "You are not obligated. You are not her family. Let her rot in peace." But her mom called again, begging. She asked for you. "She won't talk to anyone else, please. She thinks you're the only one who ever cared about her." My hands were shaking. I knew what this was. Emotional blackmail in its ugliest form. But I also knew if she died, it would haunt me. So I went. The hospital room reeked of antiseptic and desperation. Melinda looked like a ghost of herself. Pale, sunken eyes, tubes in her arm. She opened her eyes and smiled. "Luke, you came." I wanted to scream or run, but I just stood there. She reached out weakly. "I knew you still loved me." I stepped back. "No, Melinda. I came to say goodbye." Her smile vanished. "You don't mean that." "I do. I tried to kill myself for you." "No," I said coldly. "You did it for attention. And even now you're using it as leverage." She turned her face away, started crying. But I'd seen enough crocodile tears to fill a lake. I left. Didn't look back. 3 days later, the fire happened. My office building. 3rd floor, arson. The fire department said it was likely started with accelerants in a storage closet. No alarms were triggered. Security footage conveniently glitched from 2:14 to 2:38 a.m. And the worst part? There was a note, slipped under my assistant's desk, scorched at the edges. It read, "If I can't have a future, you don't get one either." Signed with a lipstick kiss. We knew, everyone knew. But no proof. She was in psych hold. Couldn't be charged. Not yet. My business survived. The damage was contained. But the message was clear. Melinda wasn't just unstable. She was dangerous. Marcus moved fast. Restraining order upgraded. Civil suit filed. All evidence submitted to the DA. I moved to a temporary location, switched hotels every 3 nights, carried pepper spray and a tracker, lived like I was in witness protection, but nothing prepared me for the next twist. Because Melinda? She disappeared, checked herself out of the hospital, vanished into thin air. No credit card activity, no social, no phone, gone. And a week later, my mother was gone too. The call came at 4:32 a.m. "Mr. Tanner, this is Memorial Oncology. Your mother, she's missing." I sat straight up in bed, my ears ringing. "What do you mean missing? She's hooked up to chemo machines. She's weak," the nurse stammered. The night nurse stepped away. When she came back, the bed was empty. We checked security footage. And? There's no footage. Just static. No. I jumped out of bed and drove like a madman through the dark. Ran every red light. parked crooked outside the ER. Busted through the entrance like a lunatic. They showed me the room, empty, cold blankets. Folded like she never existed. My mom, barely able to walk, was gone. Police were already on site. One officer asked if she had any history of wandering off. Wandering? She had a tumor pressing on her spine. She couldn't wander to the vending machine. They found a wheelchair abandoned 2 blocks away. That's it. No prints, no video, no witnesses, nothing. She was just gone. I lost it. Full breakdown in the hallway. Screaming, crying, shoving my fists against the wall like that would open some portal and bring her back. A janitor had to pull me off the floor. Then I got the email. No subject line. No sender. Just one sentence. She's safe. For now. I nearly threw up. I forwarded it to Marcus. He called immediately. This isn't just obsession anymore. This is kidnapping. We're dealing with a psycho. No kidding. Within the hour, FBI was looped in. Missing person alert issued. My building was placed on 24/7 watch, but no ransom, no demands, just silence. And me? I was unraveling. Couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Sat staring at my phone for hours, waiting for a message that didn't come, until it did. 4 days later, a package arrived. No return address. Inside, my mother's wedding ring and a flash drive. Marcus opened it in his office while I stood behind him, shaking like a leaf. It was a video of Melinda. She looked pale, unhinged, like she hadn't slept in days. She sat in a dark room, breathing heavily, into the camera. She's okay, Luke. We're just spending time together. She likes me, actually. She says I remind her of someone she used to love. She smiled. Wide, unsettling. You took everything from me, so I borrowed something from you. She leaned closer to the lens. You broke my heart. Now I'm going to break yours. Slowly. Then she turned the camera to my mom, bound to a chair, eyes puffy, gagged, crying, my knees buckled. Marcus turned it off. That night, I slept with a gun under my pillow. I didn't even own a gun before. Marcus made me get one. Legally, licensed, trained. But it still felt wrong. Like this whole damn story had turned into a horror movie. The media got wind of it. Tech mogul's mother abducted in bizarre love revenge plot. Reporters camped. Outside my building. Drones, headlines, Reddit threads, and still no leads. No Melinda, no mom, just fear, raw, consuming, paralyzing, until one of my web admins called. I think I found her. He was tracking suspicious traffic on one of my older websites. A server pinged from an isolated rural location in Arizona. A shack of a town with a population under 200. Melinda had clicked 5 pages, all about me. I jumped on the next flight with Marcus and a private investigator, landed in Phoenix, rented a black SUV, and drove 5 hours into the desert, dirt roads. No cell service. I kept praying, please let her be alive. Please. We reached the coordinates at sunset, and what we found made my blood run cold. It was a trailer, half sunk into the sand, windows covered with newspaper, and in the distance, smoke, fire. Marcus grabbed my arm, then we heard it, screaming. A woman's scream, my mother. I sprinted before anyone could stop me, over the dry brush, across jagged rocks, straight toward the sound of her voice. Luke! The trailer door slammed open. Melinda appeared in the doorway, hair matted, eyes wide, one hand clutching a kitchen knife. She looked like a feral animal. I knew you'd come, she shrieked. Marcus shouted behind me. Wait for backup! Too late. I was already halfway up the steps. Where is she? Melinda backed up into the dark. She's resting. She was tired. You made her so tired. I pulled the gun from my waistband. Move. Now. She laughed, shrill and cracked. You won't shoot me. You still love me. You came all this way. That's when I heard it, a muffled cough, weak, fragile. I pushed past her, kicked open a door, and there she was, my mother, bruised, dehydrated, tied to a rusted bed frame with scarves. Her eyes widened when she saw me. Luke. She could barely whisper it. I dropped the gun and ran to her, sobbing as I cut through the bindings with my pocket knife. I've got you, Mom. I've got you. You're okay. You're safe now. But we weren't. Not yet. Behind me, Melinda started, screaming, You ruined everything. This was our time. She was starting to like me. Marcus and the PI stormed in. She lunged, tried to stab me, but she never made it. The PI, an ex-Marine named Dax, tackled her midair and pinned her like a rag doll. She thrashed on the ground, foaming at the mouth, shrieking my name. They'll never believe you. You're the psycho. You're the one who abandoned me. Sirens wailed in the distance. Finally, The cops took over. Ambulance loaded my mom in. Melinda? She was strapped down, sedated, and wheeled off screaming obscenities I can't even repeat. She'd left notes, voicemails, videos, all damning. The Arizona sheriff said it was one of the most disturbing things he'd seen in 20 years. They found voodoo dolls with my face, printed out photos of my house, my office, even childhood yearbook pictures. And in a notebook titled, Forever Luke, she'd written, "If I can't be in his future, I'll erase his past." Sick, twisted, delusional. The media devoured it. Every outlet from CNN to trash tabloids ran. With it, billionaire's ex stages deranged kidnapping. Founder's mother rescued from desert cult hideout. Cult. That's what they called it. Truthfully, that's exactly how it felt. I spent 3 days in the hospital with my mom. She was badly dehydrated, traumatized, but alive. She didn't ask about Melinda. She didn't even want to say her name. She just held my hand and said, "I knew you'd find me." And I broke down. Because I hadn't known. I'd been terrified. Meanwhile, Marcus handled the legal fallout. Melinda was charged with kidnapping, unlawful restraint, attempted arson, cyberstalking, and obstruction of justice. The doctors declared her unfit to stand trial. Diagnosed her with multiple disorders. She was committed to a state hospital under indefinite hold. But just before they took her away, she managed to leak one final video, recorded on her iPad, posted to an anonymous YouTube account. It was unhinged. She stared into the camera with wide, glassy eyes and said, "I did it all for love. And someday, when he's lonely again, he'll remember who really loved him." That video got 6.7 million views. Half the world thought she was insane. The other half romanticized her. She loved too much. She just broke. Luke used her. The internet is sick. I disabled all my social media, deleted every photo, took a month off, went dark. But the paranoia didn't stop. I checked locks 5 times a night, jumped at shadows, couldn't sleep unless every room was lit, every time I heard a woman's laugh in public. I froze. She was gone, but she was everywhere. A month later, Marcus called. "Thought you'd want to know. Her psych team says she's showing no signs of recovery, may never be released." I said nothing. He added, "The DA's moving to close the criminal case. But we can sue. Civil damages, emotional distress. You'll win." I laughed. "What the hell am I going to do with her money?" He paused. "Fair point. But there was one more twist. One more time she reached from the shadows. And this time, she didn't come for me. She came for my mother." 6 weeks later, we thought it was over. Melinda was locked away. My mother was healing, slowly. Therapy twice a week. Nurses helping her walk again. I even moved her into a secure community near me with guards and cameras and 24-hour staff. She was finally safe. So we thought. Until one morning I woke up to a knock on my door. It was the head of security at my mom's residence. Pale. Shaking. "You need to come. Now." I raced over, heart in my throat. Then I saw it. My mom's room, trashed, window shattered, guards drugged, and on the bed, a single white rose, wrapped in a note that read, "You forgot to say goodbye." My knees buckled. No, 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 no. She was gone again. The FBI launched a manhunt. The facility's cameras had been looped. Same signature as the hospital glitch weeks ago. One nurse reported seeing a blonde in a uniform. They'd assumed it was a new hire. It wasn't. It was Melinda. She had escaped. Not just escaped. Infiltrated. And she took my mother. Again. I nearly lost my damn mind, smashed my laptop. Screamed at Marcus, threatened to burn every government office to the ground if someone didn't do something. "You said she was locked away," I roared. "She was," Marcus snapped. "But someone helped her. Someone with access. Someone on the inside." My world tilted. 2 days of silence. Then, "The call block number," I answered, voice shaking. "Luke," she whispered. "She's okay. I fed her soup. She likes the kind with stars in it." "Where are you?" "Doesn't matter," Melinda purred. "We're together now, just like you wanted." "I never wanted this, but you need this," she said, her voice cracking. "You're not a man without a tragedy, Luke, without pain. Who are you?" She laughed. Quiet, soft, psychotic. "I'll bring her back. When you say it." "Say what?" "That you love me." I didn't respond. She hung up. That night, I made a choice. I told Marcus, "No more lawyers, no more waiting. I'm ending this." "Tonight," he protested. I didn't care. Because Melinda made one mistake. She called from a burner phone. But the call pinged near an abandoned carnival 45 minutes outside the city, a property owned by her uncle. We knew. We had the deed, and I went, alone. Gun in my jacket. Hat pulled low. It was pouring rain, cold, black, wind howling like a funeral dirge. I found the trailer in the far corner of the lot, lights off, silent. I kicked the door open, and there they were. My mother, duct taped to a chair, eyes terrified, and Melinda, wearing a wedding dress, veil, makeup smeared, a butcher knife in one hand, a lighter in the other, around the trailer. Photos of us. Candles. Gasoline. It was a shrine to obsession. She turned slowly. You came. Let her go. Say it first. No. Then we'll all burn. She struck the match, but I was faster. Shot her. One round, clean, straight through the shoulder. She dropped the knife, screamed. I tackled her. Pinned her to the ground. Cuffed her wrists with the zip ties I brought. Then I cut my mom loose. We ran into the storm, smoke billowing behind us. Fire trucks arrived 5 minutes later. Police. SWAT. Everything. Melinda was dragged away, screaming. You'll always love me, Luke. I'm part of you forever. This time, there was no hospital, no plea deal, no rehab, just prison. Years without parole, kidnapping, arson, assault, felony stalking. The judge called it the most calculated and delusional crime spree I've ever seen from someone outside a horror film. And me? I finally exhaled. Today, it's been 14 months. I sleep again, my mom walks again, and Melinda, she writes letters. Weekly. I don't read them. They go straight into a sealed box marked evidence. But sometimes, when the night is too quiet, I remember that voicemail. He'll remember who really loved him, and I shiver, because she was wrong. I remember the woman who loved me when I had nothing, the one I lost, and I remember the one who tried to break me, and I survived them both. But I'll never forget what it took. And here it is, the finale of today's story. Did everything turn out as you imagined, or did it end unexpectedly? I'd love to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive into the discussion together. If this story kept you in suspense, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? This is your chance to join an incredible community where exciting new stories unfold every day. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date. Thanks for your attention and see you on your new adventures.